Hello friends, welcome back. Hope your July 4th weekend was great. We're currently sitting at 49th in Platinum 3 for War number 7. We're taking on Average Joe's Gym. I really like that reference there. Today we're going in with Void and Sparky and Killmonger for some healing because I have a few fights on my path today that I know I'm going to be taking some block damage on, and I wanted that extra bit of healing to save me a few potions. Taking my usual path today, 8 in the first section. So first up we have an Emma Frost on long distance relationship and tyranny. No mighty charge here, which is fine. So Emma is basically going to be in her diamond form for close to the entire fight, and that is because the way her abilities work, when she has less than a bar of power than her opponent, she will stay in diamond form, and since she's not gaining power at all because of the tyranny node, there is no way for her to gain a bar and therefore ever be ahead of me, and therefore she will be in diamond form forever. But Void doesn't really care much about that, since the degen will bypass her her diamond form. It's one of the very few things that she is not immune to in that form. Other than that, it's basically a normal Emma fight. It's good that I don't have to worry about dodging her special attacks. It's bad because she's also stun immune while in diamond form, so I have to take a bit of block damage to bait out the heavy whenever I want to get an in. I also noticed that she seems to be immune to one of the 3 types of debuffs that Void is trying to place on her, and this was not something I noticed ever before fighting an Emma Frost, so I don't know if it's a bug. I'm trying to recall. It's the critical rate one that she seems to be immune to. I'm going to have to look into that a bit further. I remember this happening while I was fighting her, as I kept wondering why Fear the Void wouldn't proc, and I took a glance up to the corner and noticed that I was stuck at 4 debuffs, so at this point I had noticed that, and then I decided to switch to the S2s to get a 3rd type of debuff. The Power Sting debuff will provide extra degen, but again, since she's not going to ever throw a special or even get to a special, it's just going to expire and not be converted into additional degen or weakness debuff. So I pretty much just roll with the special 2 here, since Fear the Void is not going to proc. This is a bit long fight. You see we're well over 100 hits already. Plenty of time left, though. I'm not really worried about it. And thanks to Killmonger, we're still healing up 1% even when trying to place a debuff. Plus we've got willpower from the massive amount of weakness we have placed on ourselves from the node. So long, annoying fight, but otherwise came out unscathed. Alright, so here we have a Killmonger. So similar nodes, long distance relationship, special lock 1, and then we're taken on with the buffet link as well, which works into my favor. So we'll be taking some damage from the vibranium armor, from the reverb rather. But between willpower, from the 2 different debuffs we can put on ourselves, plus Killmonger synergy on our own team, I felt really good that I could come out of this fight with close to, if not 100% health. And you can see, willpower is pretty much keeping us topped off. I'm trying to push him to a special 2 because it's easier to dodge. Even when he has his little indestructible charges, he's not completely indestructible. He will still take degen damage, so I'm not worried about that. The unstoppable charges that he gets in the S1, I have a bad habit of forgetting about sometimes. I almost instinctively hit into champions' blocks in order to bait specials. And once in a while, it'll catch me when I hit into Killmonger's block, and he will punish me. So trying to, where I can, push him to a special 2. So now we have 2 Petrifies and Fear the Void up. Instead of gaining power when we place a debuff on him, you'll notice he is losing power thanks to his abilities. And then 1 more Dex and Buffet kills him. That's one of my favorite things to watch in the game for sure. Alright, so now we have a duped Havoc. This is on Aegis Heavy and long distance relationship, so I need to get 2 heavies in with Void on Havoc in order to remove his indestructible charges. I knew that I would be losing a bunch of health due to the plasma detonation, so that's why you see me put on a champion boost and a medium health boost. Just wanted to make sure I got the full attack bonus on here, and I had a couple extras sitting in there. And since Void's special attacks are pretty much all energy damage, and that is what I rely on for most of my damage, I'm going to be giving him free charges and giving them to myself as well. So I'm just trying to bait out a heavy here. Void again has a 3-hit heavy, so only 2 of them are needed. Baiting out or heavy intercepting Havoc, it really depends on who you're using. Void has a very lengthy forward thrusting heavy attack, so you can kind of get him when he's mid jump. When I do this fight with Venom, or fight Havoc in general with Venom and bait out a heavy attack, I think I usually back up and then wait until Havoc lands, and as soon as he lands, you have an opening to throw your heavy. So Havoc is already at 10 charges. He seems to be losing a couple. I've got a couple of myself, which is okay. That's keeping me topped up with willpower. Trying to bait out the special 2. Here it comes. And we're about to get Fear the Void, so we're in pretty good shape. I am at full health, and Havoc is nearly dead, plus I've got the attack bonus, so I probably didn't need to boost up as highly as I did. I did take some detonation damage there, but it probably would have been a bit worse. I might have ended up with like half health, but I knew I wanted to be as topped up as possible because I had this guy on my mini-boss node. So another Iron Man Infinity War on the similar nodes as on the old Path 7. I think we've been through this fight a few times in this season in War. So the strategy, again, is basically just to only use heavy attacks. This is something that you can do with Void because you're just waiting for the degen to proc. You really can't hit into him with anybody other than maybe I think Corvus removes the passive armor ups from the node. I can't remember. But yeah, it with the aggression armor node and the way Iron Man's abilities work, he's pretty much just going to parry everything unless you heavy attack. And if you just heavy intercept, you're going to time out unless you have a way of dealing some sort of external damage. And enter Void, who is one of the best, external damage dealing champions in the game, in my opinion. So trying to get him below 75% health because it looks like he also has the Pessimist node on him. So you see he's got that Fury, little extra power gain, and then I think Pessimist also guarantees you armor up, but it just gets lost in the shuffle here. So one more heavy attack should put him below. You see those modifiers have disappeared. We have 3 unique debuff types up now. About halfway through the fight, he is still not below half health. But again, as soon as we get Fear the Void up, it's going to be better. I think I was still boosted up at this point. Yeah, because I was I was desperately trying to get somebody to lend me their energy to get up to my next fight before my boost expired. And I think the attack boost expires, but I think I have the champion and the health boost still active for the next fight. But even with the boost active, it's kind of down to the wire. Maybe 1 or 2 mistakes could switch this fight, and he could kill me pretty quickly. So not going to chance it calling in Sentry here with that many armor ups still active. I didn't want to waste the time. So I just let the degen do its job. Alright, so we're up in Tier 2 on Path 1. This is Recovery, Vigor, and Indomitable. So I will again be going in with Void. Something you'll notice in this fight that I had problems with, I think twice, is that when she throws her Special 1, the game would not let me dex out of it. So I try and swipe back to the left, and he just stands there and holds block. Yep, but then the block releases and I get hit. So this happens, it just happened there. It's going to happen a second time. And I was fuming at this point because, this is a fight that I should be able to do pretty easily. You see she blocked her special one because I stupidly tried to throw it mid-heavy. I don't know what the heck I was thinking there. Other than that, it's as long as she has her living strands up, try and bait out the S1. There I get caught again by the S1. I don't know. It was really irritating to lose health to things that I don't believe are my fault. But you notice at the start of the fight, this person was running suicide, so I got a little extra damage in that way. Also, the recoil damage is helping as well. Plus I've got the heal block up now since she has Indomitable. I can't actually reverse the Vigor node. So it's really just a matter of waiting out the degen. The armor breaks that she gave to me from the S1, healed me up a little bit, but, really irritating that I lost half my health to that fight. I really feel like I should have came out there ahead. All right, third to last fight on my path today. So this is a Cable, Recovery, Buffet, Indomitable. I did heal up just because I was concerned that the game was being laggy or wonky or whatever. I didn't want to take an S1 or an S2 from Cable, especially that S2. If he tags you with that, you could be in for trouble. So I healed up just to be safe. I didn't even heal up to max because other than that, I felt pretty confident in this fight. I do try out, I think, the total evades, yeah, there we go, from the Cable S1 rather than taking some block damage. And again, that's just so I could take as little block damage as possible, let Killmonger heal me up with the synergy. That's about it. So one thing you kind of notice when you play Void on an Indomitable node is how much you really miss the heal reversal and how much damage you really do get from it, especially on a node like Buffet or Vigor, Recovery, champions that have high amounts of regeneration, like a King Groot, for example. The degen works fine, more than fine. I'm still going to beat this fight with over half my time left, but that Indomitable node really causes the fight to lag on more than it should, I think. Alright, we're up on Mini Boss Island, and I've sped this fight up because it's just another Green Goblin. I do want to mention that there won't be a video for War 8, and that is because we foolishly forgot to enlist for War 8, and thus there was no War 8. And I think we dropped... I'm recording this. We're already... As I'm recording this now, we're already in the middle of War 9. And we ended up dropping, let's see, we're in like the 40s or 50s in Platinum 3 in this video, and I think we're ranked at top 50 Gold 1, so we dropped, precipitously as a result of missing one war, and we have our work cut out for us in order to sneak back into the bottom of Platinum 3. I'm not sure that we can do it, because our war rating didn't change, so we're going to be fighting the same kind of difficult opponents, but, we're stuck in Gold 1 now, so hopefully we can work our way out. We'll see. Alright, so this is the last fight of the war for me. This is a Heimdall on debuff immune. I had backup coming, so this was really mostly a sacrifice play. I had some trouble getting the poise charges up because of how aggressive he was being. We're already one combo in, and he had me backed up close to the wall, so I'm trying to create some space here. I try and dex twice, and I end up parrying him. And that happens several times, which really kind of disrupts my flow. And I'm really not able to get that much damage in on him. Having the class disadvantage also works against me. I can't really push him to his S2. I also can't come back in after a special and punish, so I really have to heavy intercept with my heavy to remove the true strike. So really this fight is really just wasting a lot of time. You can see we're already a minute in, and I've done next to nothing to him. Part of that is my fault. I I feel like I'm really strapped for time. I don't have enough time to build up the necessary damage that I need. Um, so yeah, it's just not a good fight. And now he's got extra armor up buff, so I'm going to be even doing less damage than I was before. It's just, again, mostly a sacrifice play. I wanted to just see how Sparky would do. I'm sure that with more practice, Sparky could probably do this fight, but so I've got 7 poise up now, so now I'm starting to finally ramp up the damage. If I had been able to get 7, 8, 9, 10 poise at the very start of the fight, this might have been a different story, but yeah, this node has given me problems this season, really no matter who's on it. And maybe that's my fault for relying on champions who use a lot of debuffs, like Void and Symbiote Supreme a few times and Blade. But my Sparky skills definitely need to improve. So hopefully some more trips through Labyrinth will cure that for me. So we got less than a minute left, and he's not even at half health. I'm firing off the S2s, but without the shock debuffs, they're not really doing too much. The S1 is going to be similarly useless because it has a stun debuff that's not going to proc on debuff immune. I get tagged there, come back with the intercept. Yeah, so I knew going in this was probably going to be either a death or a timeout, and it does end up being a timeout, but I could have just as easily died. Yeah, this was, yeah, I don't know. I think somebody came in with a Symbiote Supreme and finished this fight for me. So yeah, I don't even know if my 455 would have been good enough for this, so that's okay. So there we go, timed out, which I haven't been counting as deaths for my own records purposes, but are counted in the game as deaths nevertheless. So we did end up losing this fight, as you can see. That drops our record down to 4-3 through 7 wars, which will stay 4-3 through 8 wars as well. 4 deaths, 2 timeouts, which I haven't included in here. My item usage is significantly lower still than what it was last season. And I don't know if that's due to me just getting a little bit better, or me having some favorable nodes that work with willpower and healing, or easy fights. I've had some pretty tough fights, I think, this season, but I think that I've adapted to the map far more quickly than I expected. So that's probably part of it. All right, so I'll be back after War 9 is over. So until then, thanks for watching.